2, 1, let's go!
PE is an essential part of the school curriculum, but for Thomas, having severe asthma can get in the way of sports and exercise with his classmates.
If I try to be as good as them, I might suffer an asthma attack or my chest will tighten, and then I start to worry because I think, what if I can't sort it out, then I'll stop breathing, then I might possibly die.
Last year in South Yorkshire, 433 children were admitted to hospital with asthma attacks, and many more attended A&E.
Have a nice day at school. Have you got your inhaler?
Yeah.
For parents like Beverly, the greatest fear is not being there if Thomas had an emergency.
All day you are constantly worrying, is it going to be okay? Are you wanting to phone the school to see if he's okay? Sometimes I do, if I've got to go to work, but you're anxious all the time because you're scared of getting that phone call that, you know, they've phoned an ambulance or is unwell.
Thomas's school is the first to gain asthma-friendly accreditation in South Yorkshire. The head teacher, David, having staff that are trained to support asthmatic children is vital.
Personally, I'm an asthmatic, and when I was younger and at school, I felt unsafe at times because I might have an asthma attack and I might not know where to go or what to do. By having an asthma-friendly school, we would make sure that people felt safe and welcome.
The pilot was launched in 8 schools across South Yorkshire. To obtain asthma-friendly status, 80% of the staff must be trained in asthma awareness. There needs to be an asthma policy and an asthma register. And there needs to be an emergency inhaler and spacer on site. In South Yorkshire, there are now more than 70 schools that have been in touch to become asthma-friendly. But are schemes like this enough to support asthmatic children?
It is voluntary, so it relies on the school having the time and the teachers having the time to implement the Asthma Friendly Schools programme. We do think it's brilliant, but we think that more needs to be done. So there are so many children who are at risk of asthma attacks at this time of year, and we want the government to step up and invest more in respiratory care generally.
Knowing that Thomas has help on hand both at home and at school is reassuring to Beverly.
There's somebody there to help him, to guide him, to calm him down. It does make me feel so much better.
It gives me a peace of mind because knowing that the school's trained in treating asthma, it's not all relying on me.
Now, one hospice in York is encouraging people who are reaching the end of their lives to discuss donating their eyes with their loved ones. Margaret is living with terminal pancreatic cancer.
Then I was told that I had 2 years. Then I got another shock and was told I had months. So I just live every day as it comes. Because I can't change what is going to happen, I just live with it.
So, Margaret, why have you made this decision to donate your corneas?
It's the best feeling in the world to know that I can do this and give my sight to somebody else and see what I've seen, you know. It's my legacy. I've left a legacy.
And it's also something to live on in somebody else, isn't it?
Yes,
it doesn't seem as though we've lost everything, you know, when that day comes. You know, Margaret's organs, her eyes, her corneas will actually help up to another 10 people. So that's got to be a good thing, hasn't it?
The hospice hopes that by starting the conversation, they can help to reduce the national shortage.
This is something that our patients can do. Age is not a factor. Some cancers are not a factor. However, what is the issue is that 5,000 corneas need to be retrieved annually. There's a shortage of corneas. And if we can raise the profile of this with our patients and make a difference to patients needing corneas, then I think that's within our gift to do so.
And for Chris, it's something he'll never forget.
I would say it's the greatest gift you can give. Obviously for me, I was waiting for someone to pass away. I still don't forget that, and I'll never know who my donors were, but I see it as a thing of kind of trying to live life for them now.
Street.
The course, created by a company in Bradford, has been described as the first of its kind in the country, and Amelia Shallish went to meet some of the actors.
Emily, yes. Can I come to your house?
Yes! These students are heading into the final months of their studies. They're the first group to have taken part in a new performing arts course in Bradford for people with learning disabilities and autism. Over the last 2.5 years, they've had training in theatre, dance, music and industry studies. The idea is to support students in their creativity.
Can I come to your house?
Whether that's for personal joy or a pathway to embrace their career aspirations.
I joined the course because I want to be a professional actor, and that's what I wanted to do, really. That's my target.
I really wanted to do like acting and music and stuff, but near me where I was, there were no opportunities to learn any of that.
The course is run by Mind the Gap, a learning disability performance and arts company that aims to make art accessible for people with disabilities.
I can't stress how important it is. It really frustrates me when people say there isn't enough people with disabilities wanting to go into the art forms and acting and music or dance. That's a total lie. There's so many people who want to cross that bridge into professional work, and Mind the Gap really help you into that.
By supporting the students into their professional careers, course leaders hope this will lead the industry to become more inclusive.
People with learning disabilities and or autism are not represented enough on our TVs and screens, and that's the reason why this Performance Academy course exists.
What's happened to your wages?
I spent them.
Already? On what?
Fast cars and loose women.
We trained Liam Bairstow, who's on Coronation Street, and just the amount of times he gets stopped in the street, for a picture and stuff. And, they're not people who want to be performers. They're just fans of people who just can kind of go, oh, I see myself there. And I think there's an assumption they don't have that training or they're not able to do that job, and it's just false. And we can only train 15 people at a time, so there should be many places around the country doing this.
During this on-the-day turnaround for the BBC, I wrote an article, edited the TV package, and also edited this for Radio Leeds. The company praised my sensitivity and professionalism. On learning that I'd moved from the BBC to ITV, they reached out to me individually to be the reporter to cover their graduation. That was due to the trust I'd built up with the contacts.
4, 3, 2, 1.
14,000 runners set off from Headingley, waved on by the man behind it all, Rob Burrow and his family. Hundreds gathered at Centenary Square in Bradford to remember those lost on the 11th of May 1985. It's a day that changed the lives of so many in the city.
To me and all my family, it means a great deal. We lost my father in the fire. I was with him. Didn't manage to get him out.
Here in York, the council have asked residents to check in on any loose items around their home and also to plan ahead and stay safe if you're out and about. As you can see, Storm Isha's also bringing some heavy rain forecast as well as the wind. The conditions are expected to last until 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. We'll bring you more updates as the storm develops. Floral tributes have started to appear today at the scene of a crash which took the lives of 2 people. Several others were injured in the multi-vehicle incident which took place here at the crossroads on Saturday afternoon. A glorious Sunday afternoon for many, but these residents from Micklefield have gathered to discuss something rather unpleasant.
When your bin starts smelling, you move it out. Well, you can't do that with this stench from the tip. It's there. You're like, oh my gosh, and it irritates your nasal passage, it can be eye-watering.
On a day like this where you want to have the sunshine coming in, you've got to just shut all the windows and you just can't enjoy the weather, basically.
The worst time, I pegged my washing out and I had to wash it again.
The smell which comes from this nearby landfill continues to be an issue for residents. The owners, Caird Peckfield, haven't responded to our interview requests. So as you can see, I'm only a couple hundreds of yards away from the site, but thankfully today there isn't much of a smell. But in the past, the Environment Agency received significant reports leading to an enforcement notice for the site to be capped in December. The deadline for this notice has now passed, but the Environment Agency say after inspection, the work did not meet the requirements. I'm a confident self-shooter and editor, and I've filmed a variety of scenarios, case studies and events, both for the programme and for Content Hub.
Women could be called up for anything men did before. So you got
this play shows how, just with a little bit of kind of influence that women see in other women do things, they become incredibly empowered, incredibly brave, and literally become trailblazers. And
I've been an integral part of an award-nominated social media pilot in which I've edited vertical videos for Instagram and TikTok. These have had millions of views, widening the reach of ITV Calendar.
In it, you're claiming that circumcision leads to children becoming transgender.
Well, with reform, you get real people that sometimes say silly things. At that stage, I was not in politics.
You were in politics at that stage.
I was a Conservative.
I'm confident using Premiere Pro to create these videos and use my strong digital skills and experience to push our content further on socials. As the first regional production journalist to use this software, I've been involved in the training for other regions. For this, I created a detailed guide, which is now being used in the ITV training.